OpenAI's brand new O3 Pro just dropped, and I spent $200 so you don't have to. And I'm about to show you exactly what happened when I put this revolutionary AI through the ultimate test, and the results will shock you. I'm going to show you the brutal truth about O3's $200 price tag and whether it's worth more than your monthly car payment, my side-by-side battle between O3 Pro and a completely free alternative that will make you question everything, and the 80% price drop secret that could save you hundreds whilst getting you better results. OpenAI just dropped O3 Pro. This is a brand new update that's just been announced literally a few hours ago. So basically, the new version of OpenAI O3 Pro is now available inside ChatGPT and also on the API. So if you want to get access to this, you can go to chatgpt.com, then go to O3-Pro, and then you can start using it like you can see right here. I'll show you how to get access today, plus what it means for you and some of the benchmarks, so you can see comparative evaluations with human testers and how it performs. And we can also compare this in terms of benchmarks for evaluation. So for example, competition maths, you can see how it performs. So O3 Pro is performing a lot higher than O1 Pro and O3 Medium in terms of competition maths, science questions, competition code, and we'll be testing out side by side today, just seeing how it performs. Now, if you want to get access to this, it's available on the Pro plan inside ChatGPT, which is a giant $200 per month. So is it worth? Is the juice worth the squeeze? That's probably what you're asking, right? Is it insane or is it not insane? And I'll show you some examples of how it performed for me personally in a minute. It does take a long time to generate, right? So for example, if you wanted to use it for something simple, it wouldn't make sense at all, simply because it takes so long to respond. So typically the responses that I've seen have taken anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes when I've tested it out, and it does take quite a long time to generate responses. Now the limitations here is that at the moment temporary chats are disabled for O3 Pro as a result of a technical issue. Image generation is not supported inside O3 Pro, and Canvas is not supported inside O3 Pro. So for example, if we go inside O3 Pro here and we run a response, you can see this model here, it actually reasoned for 13 minutons, 13 long minutons. We spent waiting for the Space Invaders game to load. And then we got the file. Obviously, it's not available on Canvas, so we can download the file, which is actually pretty useful. Grab this inside the browser, and here we have an example of the Space Invaders game. Now, I'll show you how this compares in a second, but obviously, from what you can see here, it doesn't actually work, right? So I waited 13 minutes for chat. I paid $200, and I waited 13 minutes for ChatGPT O3 to generate this bad boy that doesn't actually work. So you tell me if you think AGI is here or not. But if we actually compare the outputs versus something like Gemini, so if we go into Gemini, we've got the exact same prompt here. We say create a visually stimulating Space Invaders game with the aesthetics, trigger loads of dopamine, blah, blah, blah. We click start game, and we're living the dream, right? That's so much. I mean, despite the noise, like the noise is horrible, don't get me wrong. But the actual performance and the actual quality of the game is so much better, right, compared to O3 Pro. And so that's really what we're dealing with here, right? That's where we're at. So I'm not going to say insane in the title for sure. So you get an example of how it performs, what we did, etc., how long it took. So it took 13 minutes. You can actually see the reasoning here. So it says crafting the game and then initializing the file. When we actually go back to download the game, and now it works again, but it wasn't working on the other tab, which is strange. And then you can see that actually Gemini 2.5 Pro can generate a better response for free for the same prompt, right? Pretty crazy. And you can see Sam Altman's post here. So he said O3 Pro is rolling out for ChatGPT Pro users, and in the API, it is really smart. I didn't believe the win rates relative to O3 the first time I saw them. From my own tests, I've not seen the same sort of, outputs. It's not impressed me in the same way, but each to their own, each to their own. And we can see what people are saying about it right now. So let's see if anyone's created anything interesting here. It might be really good for is like scientific or mathematics and stuff like that. But just for coding so far, from what I've seen, it's less than impressive. So the other big piece of news here is the O3 OpenAI for developers have actually cut the price of O3, which is different to O3 Pro, and that's been cut by 80%. So it's 80% cheaper now. And they're introducing O3 Pro in the API, which uses even more compute, right? So if you want to see the prices for O3, the new prices are input $2 per million tokens and output $8 per million tokens. That's now in effect. And you can see some examples of how much it costs, right? So if we have a look at the prices here, like O1 is a lot more expensive than O3 in April, and now O3 in June is a lot cheaper than O3 in April. You can get access inside ChatGPT, and if you can't get access there, then just use the API directly inside the Playground. So for example, here, if we wanted to get started with using this, we can just go to Playground, then we can go to prompts, select the model, and then if we type in O3, you can see O3 Pro is available there. I don't imagine that a lot of people are going to be coding with that, to be honest with you. Now, if you want to see another example, we've got loads of notes inside AI Success Lab if you want to see how this performs, etc. But if you want to see, for example, the video notes here, and we'll compare another test. For example, here, I've said build in single HTML the best SEO 3JS runner game you can, right? And we plugged that into O3 Pro. It took us 6 minutes to generate. You can see the reasoning on the right-hand side. So this was another test. And then we have the HTML here, and it says below is a complete single page file. Open it in a modern browser, blah, blah, blah. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that, copy that HTML, and just see how does it perform, right? Was it worth the $200? That is the question. So if we plug this HTML in here and we test it out as a live preview, you can see that it doesn't do anything, right? And we waited 6 minutes for that, which is not ideal. It's not ideal, to be honest with you. Like, for me, I would say it's probably not worth it right now. You know, you have to wait a long time for the responses. The outputs don't seem to be particularly good. It doesn't seem to be as powerful as I imagined. And also, if you, for example, if you took this prompt and then you went into something like Gemini for free, you can use it, and you typically get better outputs, right? So, for example, if we go to this example, this is a game that we created. It's not amazing, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, you'd have to go back and forth a little bit with the AI to get something better. But you can see some examples of like just how much this works, right? It actually works versus ChatGPT O3's response. So big difference really in terms of responses, in terms of the outputs. For me, in terms of the prices as well. I mean, if you compare as well, and we'll compare OpenAI O3 Pro, and we'll compare that versus Gemini 2.5 Pro. Obviously, Gemini 2.5 Pro has won both tests where we compared side by side the same prompt. And you can see here, like the context window, number one, is much higher with Gemini 2.5 Pro versus OpenAI O3 Pro. And then also the costs here, right? $20 input versus $1.25 for Gemini. $80 output from OpenAI O3 versus $10 output from Gemini 2.5 Pro. So there's a big difference in terms of costs, in terms of outputs, and in terms of quality as well, right? And so if I was to pick one, of course, it's going to be Gemini, right, from what I've seen so far. So if you want all the video notes from today, along with daily free trainings, feel free to get that inside the AI Success Lab. We give away free new trainings, as you can see right here, every single day. And you can join directly here if you want to get access, all right? Link in the comments description to the AI Success Lab. Also has a community of 10,300 people, and also tons of trainings, as you can see inside the classroom. So if you want to get tons of trainings and updates on the latest AI, you can. If you want to connect with me personally, if you want to get 3 live coaching calls per week, if you want to be able to request automations we actually build for you, then feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. Inside here, we have a community where you can connect with me personally. You can also post inside the community. You can ask any questions that you have. You can also get access to all our best AI agents, templates, workflows, etc. And all of this stuff is inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Finally, if you want us to automate and implement AI's, AI automations for you, feel free to get that inside this link right here. And you can book in a free SEO strategy session and then just ask any questions on the call. And also book in a call and we'll look at what you want to automate and how we can do it, right? If you want to hire us and become a client of ours for AI automation. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. I appreciate you watching.